based on alert means that the authorities can look through the camera whenever they want. It's a bit like agents of the Matrix. If I were a person of interest, they could inhabit any camera near me. It's actually really creepy. Doorbell cameras, street cameras, shop cameras, even cameras at posh hotels, all controlled under one system. The FaceWatch cloud, the rail transport cloud, the Axon cloud, and maybe in the future...
What's up, Idol Expert?
...will the local councils are forced to have their CCTV on a cloud. So when you start to tie all of those systems together, when you have all of those systems bound under a common blanket data sharing
What's
agreement,
good, buddy?
that you'll really start to see the beginnings of an all-seeing, all-knowing digital God.
Bullshit. I saw a little anti-ICE parade march or whatever going down my street. I was like, what the fuck? Blocking my way to get into my apartment. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about ICE or whatever the fuck, family matters and gaming. Let me put on some fucking music before we do this shit. Playlists. Alright, there we go. Alright, so y'all have heard about the ICE shit. You know, they're abducting little illegal people and putting them in little camps and shipping them off into the desert somewhere. I don't know how it works, honestly. I don't know how they process people. But it's not good, apparently. It's not good, according to a lot of people. So, I mean, I haven't really been following the news like that, so I wouldn't really know what was actually happening. I kind of keep to myself most of the time. But this has sort of been like a really hot button issue that I can't really ignore anymore. So, my father texted me and was like, "Are you paying attention to what's going on in the country right now?" And I was like, "I'm mainly focusing on like the AI stuff right now, but other than that, not really." I forgot what this man said. He was like, "They're like trying to implement like fascism now in the country." I was like, "Oh, do tell." And he was like, they're trying to like round people up and ship them back without like due process or whatever and all that other shit. And I was like, damn, why would they do that? Apparently the people that they're hiring for ICE are like just like being really aggressive with how they're capturing people, because a lot of these dudes are just like for hire, like mercenaries or some shit. They're all masked up and they're just going around harassing random people in like parking lots and rounding them up like cattle. It's a little bit immoral in the way that they go about it, you know. It's they're treating human beings like cattle basically. So it's a little bit iffy. But it's affecting a lot of people. I live in Texas, so there's a lot of Hispanic. Nice, I bought. There's a big Hispanic population down here, especially like in Houston and Austin too. And obviously, there's a lot of people who are against ICE. I see graffiti all the time, getting splattered all over the interstate walls of saying "fuck ICE" and all that other shit. And today, with the little parade going on outside, it's getting pretty heated. A lot of younger people are doing it too, so getting in on it. I don't know. To me, personally, I think it's gonna blow over like within a year or so. I think the ICE raids and all that are going to start to dwindle or peter out after this administration. So I'm not too worried about it. I guess I can look up the stats of what they're actually for ICE raids. In 2025, Immigration and Customs Enforcement intensified enforcement, with arrests at local jails peaking at over 500 per day in August and other at-large arrests averaging nearly 700 daily in early summer. Damn, they're really getting in there. Total 2025 detentions reached record highs, exceeding 68,400 by mid-December. Okay, that is a record right there. Arrest velocity, ICE averaged 824 arrests since January 20th, 2025, more than double the 312 daily average of 2024. The number of people in ICE detention rose nearly 75% in 2025, surpassing 66,000 in December. Arrests without criminal records, arrests of individuals with no criminal records surged, reaching 41% of total arrests by December 2025. So they're arresting individuals that don't have a criminal record either. That's interesting. That was my argument my dad made. My dad's is a big Democrat, so he's like, it's one thing if they're arresting criminals, but they're arresting non-criminals, you know? So, total impact, nearly 75,000 people with no criminal records were arrested and over 327,000 people were deported. Wow, damn. That's a lot. Nearly 75,000 people with no criminal records were arrested and over 327,000 people were deported. 327,000 is a lot. Holy fuck, they're really hidden. I didn't even know that this was happening. 327,000. That's a third of a million. Damn near. Top locations, Texas and Louisiana held the highest number of detainees with 17,696 and 7,096 respectively as of late 2025. Wow. Ooh. Demographics, approximately 90% of those arrests in 2025 were male, primarily from Mexico and Central America. Worksite and community raids. The increase in arrests is driven by at-large arrests, worksite operations, and targeting individuals at check-ins or court hearings. I did hear about that shit. People who went to court immediately get arrested by ICE. Local cooperation. Participation in 287G agreements, which allow local law enforcement to assist in immigration enforcement. Oh, my mom's trying to call me. Can she, like, go away? No offense to moms, but, I'm busy. That's the next topic we're going to talk about is family stuff, but back to immigration and ICE, which allow local enforcement to assist in immigration enforcement, grew by nearly 100 agencies per month in 2025. Okay, so the cops are now assisting in the immigration enforcement. They're contacting ICE when they don't have their papers. Okay, so that grew detention capacity. Congress authorized $45 billion in new funding for a detention system that is expanding to rival the federal prison system. Wow. Damn. That's a fucked... Wow. Honestly, I'm pretty ignorant. I didn't even know this shit was happening. I thought they were just taking people, but they're doing more than that. They Congress authorized the $45 billion funding for detention system specifically for detaining illegal immigrants. Very interesting. So that was the AI overview I just read. Alright, let me show my screen. Here here's the graphs of the arrests by criminality. Boston, you got 15,000 pending criminal charges, criminal convictions. Okay, so other criminal or other immigration violator, I'm assuming, is just that they're illegal, but then the actual criminal conviction is a lot lower. So 2,754 people are actual criminals right here, and about 1959 are pending criminal charges. So these two comprise the criminals of the illegal population, and this orange brick right here represents just a regular immigration violator. In other words, they don't have papers or are not supposed to be here. So Boston's got a lot. They got a lot of arrests in Boston. Over here, Harlington. I don't even know where the fuck that is, to be honest. Harlington. Oh, that's way down there in Texas. Okay. Harlington's got a little bit more criminals in there. Okay, so in my opinion, when it comes to the criminal arrests and deportations, I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, I don't think we should be having criminals in the country if they're not supposed to be here. Law-abiding citizens, there is a debate for that. What you think? What you think should be done there? I want to know more about the process, though. That's what I'm curious about. I want to know more about like the process of the deportations. If they're really just rounding people up, and once they find out they're not here legally, they just ship them off. You know. I want to know more about the deportation process. Real quick. Okay. The deportation process for undocumented immigrants in the U.S. generally involves apprehension, issuance of a notice to appear, and a hearing before an immigration judge to determine removal. Although expedited removal without hearing exists for certain cases. Damn. So you can actually expedite it without a hearing. Damn, no due process at all. So if your ass is if they find that your ass is without papers, they can just fucking ship you off back to fucking Mexico real quick. What the fuck? Damn. A charging document is filed by the Department of Homeland Security and Immigration Court, initiating formal removal proceedings. Expedited removal. Individuals caught at the border without proper documents. Okay, so this is if you're caught at the border. May be deported quickly without court hearing. Okay. Damn, so where do they just drop them off somewhere? That's what I want to know. Do they just drop them off in the fucking desert? Do they just put them in the fucking truck and drive down to Mexico and they're like, all right, here you go, bye. And they just fucking leave? Is that what they do? Do they just drop illegal immigrants off? somewhere in Mexico. I'm sure they got an office somewhere. When individuals are found to be in the United States illegally, U.S. authorities do not just drop them off somewhere in Mexico in an informal manner. Instead, the process involves formal removal or voluntary departure procedures, with individuals returned either to their home country. Well, that's basically what it is, but where do they return them to? Like, what building? Who are found to be in the U.S. are often returned to Mexico either at the, they're just dropped off at the border or cities in southern Mexico. I remember a while back that they were talking about people getting deported who were like children and shit, like if they were like first generation. Being deported to people born in the United States to undocumented immigrant parents are U.S. citizens at birth under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which means they cannot be legally deported. While they have the legal right to remain in the country, they often face de facto deportation. What the fuck? Meaning they may choose to leave with their parents to keep the family together. Constitutional protection, birthrights. The Fourth Amendment guarantees that anyone born on U.S. soil is subject to its jurisdiction as a citizen, regardless of their parents' immigration status. Oh, they're tearing families apart. They're tearing them apart. While ICE cannot legally deport a U.S. citizen child, when parents are deported, they often take their U.S. citizen children with them. Okay. Well, there you have it. I feel like I learned a lot today. All right. Well, my opinion. Here's my opinion. Okay. People who are criminals should be deported because they're bringing trouble to the country. Otherwise, there should be more thorough due process for people who have been here for a while. They're cracking down pretty hard on these. And I think we have to, not just from a legal standpoint, but we also got to look at it from an empathetic standpoint as well. These are families. They have been here for a long time. And they have children now over here. And if you were to deport them, you are kind of ripping families apart. So that is a little bit iffy in terms of morality is concerned. What else? What else? Also, I didn't even think about this, but children who are not adults yet and have lived in the United States their entire lives, basically, do they get deported too? Do minors of illegal immigrants because what are they going to do, you know? Were born minors born in the U.S. to undocumented immigrant parents are U.S. citizens by birth under the 14th Amendment and cannot be legally deported. Okay, but what are they going to do? You know? Like, if you're like 14, 15 or whatever, I mean, and your parents are going to get deported, what the fuck are you going to do now? You know? You either have to go with them and elect to be deported with them, or you have to stay here. And, why the fuck do they keep calling me? I keep getting like weird fucking phone calls. Sorry, that broke my chain of thought. So you either choose to go back with your parents or you choose to stay here. And that's a pretty hard decision because, one, you'd be going back to a foreign country that you've never been to before. That's arguably a worse living condition than here in the U.S. Or you can stay here, but then your parents are gone, so you don't have a support system, and you're just kind of on your own as a fucking teenager, which is a pretty hard pill to swallow, you know? You'd have to figure out a situation to live, you know? And I don't think they allow... Yeah, and this that kind of does make it impossible too, because you can't if you're under 18, you can't rent an apartment alone. You can't legally sign a binding contract. So you have to go back. Like, you're just gonna be homeless. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do if like your parents are illegal? You're like 15 years old. You got 3 years left before you're 18, and they're getting sent back. You're like, what are you gonna do then? You have to figure something out. U.S. citizens. Oh shit. U.S. citizen minors with parents facing deportation are generally placed with relatives, friends, or if necessary into the state's child welfare system or foster care system. Oh shit. Foster care. Imagine becoming a foster. That'll never fucking happen. Imagine becoming an orphan because your fucking parents got deported. That's crazy. As explained by the American Immigration Council, ICE agents are instructed to allow parents to arrange childcare before deportation. If no guardian is found, the child may enter foster care, and special programs like unaccompanied refugee minors can provide long-term care according to the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants. If immediate family is not available, the child is often placed in emergency shelters or with vetted foster families. That's fucked. No, bro. Now that part's fucked up. That part is a little wrong to me, like by a lot. Because the child is often placed in emergency shelters. Emergency shelters, bro? Emergency shelters? Are you kidding me? I bet that shit has roaches and shit in there. Emergency shelters with like who? A bunch of fucking homeless people and drug addicts? fucking roaches crawling over the fucking ceiling? I don't think so. Or a vetted foster family. Yeah, vetted in quotation marks. I'm sure they're very vetted. But next thing you know, you got a fucking weirdo for a fucking guardian that you don't even know, that you have to trust. Legal protections. While not in immigration proceedings themselves, these children are eligible for child welfare services and in some cases pathways to legal status, such as special integrated juvenile status. Okay, so child welfare services. Let me look that up. Child welfare services provide a continuum of care designed to ensure child safety and family stability through protective, preventative, and support services. Key offerings include investigating abuse. Okay, well that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. In-home safety services, foster care. Okay, well adoption services. No, that's not going to happen. In some regions, financial assistance for child care, counseling, and parent education. So this is a little weird. So the child welfare services are only offered not to the child themselves because they're not adults yet. They have to have someone be a provider, it seems like. So you have to have some kind of foster care. Yeah, that's kind of fucked. Yeah, emergency shelters or vetted foster families is fucked. That's fucked. I don't like that. That part's fucked up to me. So, not to shit on like the government of Mexico or anything, but they do have a cartel problem down there, and there's a reason why a lot of these families fled to the United States. It was for a better life, right? And the immigration process is very arduous, or so I've heard. So, they did that shit, and now that they're here, we have the new, this new administration that's cracking down on this aspect because that was one of Trump's key policies he wanted to implement, and now that's happening. It's real. Now it's 2026, and last year at the end, we had record numbers of detainees being sent back who weren't just criminals but also non-criminal offenders being sent back. And I don't even know what the statistics could be on children being torn apart from their families, or how many kids are going to foster care, or how many kids are going back to a country they've never been to before. So that's rough, man. And that's really bad. That's a really bad situation, because when you really think about it, you are basically electing to not have citizenship if you go back with your parents. So you're willingly going back for your family to a worse spot to a worse position, and it's going to be hard for you to come back. But if you stay here, you're going to probably be in like some fucking shack somewhere, some emergency shelter, or you're going to have to be a foster child at like 15 or something. That's fucked. That's rough, okay? That is rough. If you don't have like an immediate family around you, you're fucked. Shit. Oof. Better hope your neighbors are like cool or some shit. You know what I mean? These Mexicans are about to get tight fucking knit after this one, bro. I tell you that much. These people are gonna be like sticking together like shit. You know? They're gonna be like, your parents got the poor, you can come live with us. They're gonna be like cool and shit. That might be the only benefit to the situation, but overall, you know, it's not good. Yeah. I don't support this, obviously. I think it's wrong. I think they should deport criminals, but in terms of like family, there has to be like some kind of, there has to be like a better way to like, you know, go about doing such a thing, because again, you're tearing families apart, and that's not right. It's not right, bro. Okay. So that was the first topic. I guess the second topic was family stuff. Speaking of families, this is gonna get a little personal, but we only got 2 viewers in here anyways. It's not like anybody watches this, so I'm pretty comfortable with talking about it. This is about my personal family stuff. My brother had a kid out of wedlock some years back, and he's not, I don't think he's in his life, okay? Unfortunately, you know, because it's sad, because my brother, his dad was kind of not in his life either. It's kind of like a cycle. My mom apparently says that he talks to him occasionally, whatever. But my mom is trying to get me to talk to him. And I think the reason why she wants me to talk to him more is because he doesn't have a father figure. And she's trying to kind of coax me or nudge me into that role. But the thing is, he's not mine. You know, he's my nephew. And again, since we're blood, I do care about him. But that's if I feel like it's not my responsibility to assume that role, you know. I mean, my uncles never fucking talked to me like that. We talked maybe like once a fucking year, you know. So, I mean, that's my brother's kid. That's my brother's son, and he should be a little bit more hands-on with guidance, you know. Because my mom sent me a video of this kid. He's still a kid, you know. He's like fucking 14, 15 or something, and he's acting goofy and silly and shit. The one thing that kind of popped out to me was that he was growing his hair really long, like down here, and he was very, very skinny. He kind of looks like an asylum patient and shit, like running around the room. And I'm like, he needs to chop off that mop, you know. My mom's like, oh, he's sad because he doesn't have any friends. You need to talk to him, John. I'm like, a lot of guys don't have like a lot of friends. That's like a part of being a man, is that you're not gonna have a lot of friends. But that's one of the drawbacks. But then the benefit is that you're powerful, that you can do what you want, you know, that you can march to the beat of your own drum. You know, as a man, you're a solitary creature, but then you have all this strength and will and smarts to get what you want, regardless of what the world thinks about you, you know? And that feels good to have, in spite of everything. But he's not going to learn that until he gets older. And I wish my brother would kind of instill that in him, but I don't think my brother has it in him to even be that kind of... advisor or counselor. I don't know. But my brother's doing his own thing right now in Kansas. He's just starting his own little gym in his garage. He's landscaping his house, his fixer-upper. So I don't know. I really don't know what he does all day besides that shit. So he can realistically talk to him more often, but I don't think he does. I think he might regret some things getting with that woman, because she wasn't the best. I'll tell you that much. She was an avid drug user, drank and smoked, and yeah, I don't know. But the kid seemed sweet, very innocent. But you know, that kind of innocence is hard to have in this kind of world we live in. You gotta get strong and tough. So my mom is trying again to rope me into that, and I'm like telling her, no, it's not my responsibility. I'll talk to him occasionally, but don't expect me to be like this this guiding light, because it's just not my bag. I even told her that my brother needs to step up and start talking to the kid, because if a kid is saying he's lonely and shit, that is the time when the dad needs to come down and be like, this is what you gotta do, okay? This is how life is. When your son is like saying shit like, oh, you know, I don't have any friends or shit like that, that is when you as a father have to imbue and instill in him the seed of knowledge to grow and say, you need to be tougher and you need to get stronger and not care about shit like that. Because in this life, you're on your own. And if he doesn't learn that, if he doesn't become tougher and stronger, he's going to get chewed out and spat out, you know? Chewed up and spat out. But of course, my brother's probably never going to fucking do that shit. He's never going to do that. It's just not in his DNA. But, I don't know. My mom is extremely empathetic, so she feels really bad for her kid. And that's why she's like sending me videos and shit. But I don't know, man. Hopefully it works out. Another thing too I noticed about this kid, like I said, he's growing his hair really long. My cousin, he didn't have a father figure either. I noticed that when boys don't have a father figure, they do kind of adopt some effeminate qualities because they've been around their moms for so long, and they kind of take inspiration from their mothers instead of their fathers. And what is your mom like? You know, she's nimble, she's got long hair, you know, you're kind of reflecting her, but as a guy, and that's not very good sometimes, you know? It's not good to do that. So, definitely not good to do that. But what can you do? Oh, shit. Fuck. Yeah, I feel bad for him. But, yeah, I don't know what to make of that. It's not my responsibility. He's gonna have to learn like everyone else. Oh, making games. Third topic. So I've been learning how to do more game work and coding work in Visual Studio and Unity. It's pretty fun. Sometimes annoying and aggravating when it doesn't work, but it can be fun trying to solve the problems that crop up during the process of coding and making your game actually work. So I do enjoy it quite a bit. In fact, I might do some coding work right now in the stream, but we'll see. If I get too bored, I'm probably going to end up doing something else, but as of right now, my trajectory is just to keep making games and making artwork so I can post it on my website that I'm building, so that way eventually, you know, I can publish it and have people enjoy it and have fun with it. Yeah. Let's see the footage we got today on my camera. Wherever I put it at. Oh, it's right there. Fucking dumbass. I might have to end the stream. I have to end the stream so I can take a look at the footage I had for today when I was lifting weights. Because I'm also going to be putting that up on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to cut the stream right now, and I'll be back on later tonight to talk more shit. And hopefully play more games. Alright, I love you.